It is 12 noon. Welcome back in. This is Three-Man Front on This Reaction Monday. Pat, Molly, Conrad, Landrum with you until 2 o'clock. It is customary every Monday. We go to Tuscaloosa. We get a chance to hear from the Alabama head football coach, Kalen DeBoer. He has made his way behind the microphone. Let's go to T-Town now here on Jocks.
Good morning. Just obviously, just like I said the other night, disappointed in the outcome just from the game. And, I guess the approach I can already see is dialed in. Like I told you, I know the character of this football team, and this is not a time to sit still. This is a time to keep moving forward, and we see areas that we can continue to improve on. But that's what we have done all season long. We continue to push, continue to go back to work, and these guys, again, they've shown how resilient they are, and you can see the want to in the fight. Getting down early in the game the other night, I think, and how we continued to compete is exactly what you see in the big picture of this season and what these guys are all made up of.
Start with Katie on the back left.
I think Saturday was the first time this year that y'all have used two players back in punt return. Just kind of, was that something y'all saw from Oklahoma that you wanted to try, or is it something they've been kind of building towards all year, that it was something you wanted to try on special teams?
Well, their punter was a little erratic. He hit long ones and he hit short ones, and so some of the short ones, what would happen is they would roll out and end up being longer kicks because you play for the long game. And so I thought, our guys did a good job of the fielding part. Obviously, we had a turnover, which was a big deal. And so, from a schematic standpoint, that was a lot of the reason for that. And so you saw some of the ones that went longer. Ryan got his hands on those, and obviously field position plays a little bit of a role in that, but there were some shorter ones too. And so, I felt like from a schematic standpoint, what we were doing made sense.
To the right, we'll go to Charlie. All right.
With Saturday being senior day, do you have any kind of update on Jamarian Latham and maybe where he stands on looking to come back for his seventh year?
Yeah, nothing as far as what the future holds. I know we'll continue to talk with him on that here, and obviously there would have to be something that's done from the NCAA level to get that year as well.
Go to Nick, same side, right in front of you.
Yeah, the extended time of Wilkin at guard and Michael Carroll at right tackle. What did you think of kind of what they did together?
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. I thought there was things where our execution was certainly improved, and I thought Wilkin did a nice job getting off the ball in some areas. There's a goal line play that I really felt like he really had a low hat and showed some things that he's continued to work on. And Michael was out there competing. He's going to give everything he has. There's no doubt about it. He doesn't look like a freshman, and he's played a lot of snaps this year that are meaningful. And together, I think those guys had a good week of practice. And again, it wasn't perfect. Things that they could have been better on, but there was a lot of success that they had together as well.
Jump over to the front left, Colin.
Hey, Kalen. Two questions, if I may. First, was Deshaun Jones available against Oklahoma? And if so, why did Red Morgan, take the snaps at Husky?
He was available, but he had a good injury the week before in the game, and that definitely limited a lot of his practice throughout the week. And so that gave Red more opportunity. Day was available if we needed him.
Let's go to Joe, right in the middle, second row.
Coach, you addressed the mechanics of the missed field goal on Saturday, but after the missed field goal, the television cameras caught Connor Talty kind of getting upset with David Byrd and the placement of the snap. Just what's your reaction to that, and really what's your message to the entire unit as they look to improve?
Yeah, we're all competitive, and those guys are competitive, and they want to make that kick and have the execution be at a high level. And every single one of those guys are always taking ownership. But obviously in that moment, Connor's a competitive guy, and he knows how important those points are, and the response and everything like that. Not exactly what you want, but it's also an understanding of how important it is to these guys, and they work together relentlessly in practice. I see it. There's a cohesiveness that these guys have. And so, in the locker room, I think they got that resolved very quickly after the fact, and we're ready to go out there and execute more throughout the game.
Far back left, we'll go to Matthew.
Hey, Coach, early in that game, there was a big punt return from Oklahoma. Just what did you see from your special teams on that play?
I saw Latsier Brooks give unbelievable effort from flying down the field, probably 50-plus yards, to almost getting the guy down and then rolling and getting right back up and chasing probably another 50-plus yards the other direction. I think that guy right there gives so much and has been so productive in the special teams all season. I think there might
We will try to reconnect with Kalen DeBoer's press conference live in Tuscaloosa. It seems that the feed from the University of Alabama has gone down there, but you already heard Kalen DeBoer kind of rehashing a lot of what he said after the fact there on Saturday after the loss to Oklahoma. You heard him being asked about the different punt formations or return formations there, where you had the fumble by Ryan Williams and saying that was something schematically that they thought going in could give them an advantage over Oklahoma in special teams and the way that they like to handle the punting. And so we will see how this team bounces back after adversity and getting ready for East Illinois this week before the Iron Bowl comes up 2 weeks from now. But we'll try to get reconnected with Kalen DeBoer here in the near future and get the rest of his comments as the press conference feed from Tuscaloosa appears to have gone down, Pat.
All right, thanks, Conrad. It appears that the Alabama-Auburn game is going to be a 6:30 kickoff. So for planning purposes, that is a primetime game on the ABC television network, 6:30 from the plains of Auburn, just like we predicted about an hour ago. Television executives, they completely understand what that means, and there you go.
Should be a really festive time. Hopefully we get some good weather. I was looking at the 2-week forecast, and it can always change, but we'll probably, at kickoff, be somewhere low 60s and creep into the 50s during the night. Does that sound
hoping for snow?
Sound kosher for everybody?
Hoping for snow. Was that 2000?
Oh yeah,
Iron Bowl,
the Ice Bowl, the sleet.
Yep, little snow was big. The 9-0 win by Auburn. Rob Pate had an interception in that game.
He did
against Alabama. Remember it well. It was really miserable that day. It was so cold.
Oh, we've had some miserable ones, but we've had some really, really nice ones too. 800-239-WJOX, 205-834-9450, as we will try to connect with Tuscaloosa and get more from one Kalen DeBoer. In his press conference, already some reaction coming in. This presser is less than encouraging. Okay. From what you're able to gather in the partial presser. Fanboy asking, are Bama fans declaring the loss to Auburn already? No, I don't think so. Someone saying that James Spann is saying it's supposed to be very cold Iron Bowl day. Jason says, if you ask me, Auburn needs to be on the phone with the board, paying him whatever he wants.
Wouldn't that be something?
We've moved him out of Tuscaloosa now, and Auburn shifts their search, and Cohen makes a phone call. No. Hey, guys, go back and look at the pick six. Did Oklahoma not cause pass interference or our guy keep him from getting to the ball, and therefore the interception happened? Do you hear anybody wanted a pass interference call?
I think there was one play, and I think Greg McElroy said on the broadcast that it was equal hand fighting. He didn't think.
I think it was the one to Ryan Williams where you saw the DB kind of grab his face mask while he was trying to catch it, and I mean, There's a couple of plays like that every game, right?
We have Faye that has texted into the show. Still upset over Bama choking on Saturday. She goes on to say that she choked as well. Not sure what that's about. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, but the pick 6 play, defensive tackle not lined up in the neutral zone, question mark? And Gavin asking, why should Gunnar Stockton not be the front runner for the Heisman Trophy? All of these questions coming from you.
I just voted literally minutes ago for the Maxwell Award, and I voted for Gunnar Stockton. He just wins. Goes about it, and
think about the clutch throws that he's made this season.
Oh my goodness! I just keep going back to that one he threw at Tennessee.
Was that the fourth and whatever play?
Yeah,
dialed it up.
Mm-hmm. He did. Once again, the headline: for the first time in 18 years, the Iron Bowl is going to be played at night. 6:30 will be the kickoff time between Auburn and Alabama at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We have reconnected in Tuscaloosa, so we're going to play the final few minutes of Kalen DeBoer's press conference today in Tuscaloosa.
There's a few of those one-off plays that were the difference in the game.
On the far left, we'll go to Theo next.
Coach, really big game for Josh Cuevas. We had the big reception by Edwards. Do you think tight ends could play a bigger role in the passing game moving forward?
Yeah, I think both, in particular, Cuevas and Caleb do an amazing job. And that tight end position's always been important to our offense. It's not just the pass game, but it's the
continue to try to reconnect. Understand that we're having still some issues trying to get that transmitted out in stereo. So we will kind of go over what Kalen DeBoer of all days, right? That Kalen DeBoer. We have issues technically in Tuscaloosa after an Alabama loss to Oklahoma.
I think we should have Conrad just pretend or just assume what he thinks Kalen DeBoer would say.
I mean, he didn't speak for very long. I can sum it up for you. Josh Cuevas is a really good tight end, and everything is right in front of us, and we've got to continue to get better moving forward in the last 2 games of the season. That's essentially the gist of the final 2 minutes of the press conference.
Did he say anything about Talty? Is he still on the squad?
He did. He was asked about that earlier, and he said that it's not what you want to see of your kicker going after the long snapper on the field, but didn't seem to have too dramatic of a reaction one way or the other.
Also, talking about the Iron Bowl, and I know we've got plenty of time, especially next week, talking about the Iron Bowl, but this is going to be the 7th different coaching matchup of recent memory in this series, which is pretty amazing. You had Malzahn versus Saban. Then you had Malzahn versus Sarkisian because Saban had COVID. So Sarkisian coached the game. Then you had Harsin versus Saban. Then Cadillac versus Saban. Freeze versus Saban. Freeze versus DeBoer. And now Durkin versus DeBoer.
And based on the way it's trending, it looks like we're going to have unique matchup number 8 next year.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, because, I was thinking about the Alabama side of things, not the Auburn side of things.
So who are you? Yeah.
Because Durkin could be named the head coach.
It could be, right? We could get a Summerall DeBoer matchup.
Could be a Summerall Tommy Reese matchup.
Mm-hmm. Summerall Glenn Schumann.
Ryan Grubb.
How about Dabo?
Dabo comes home finally.
Dan Lanning decides, you know what?
Lincoln Riley versus Dan Lanning next year in the Iron Bowl. Mark it down right now.
If you could have him right now, would you trade Dabo for DeBoer?
No.
Would you trade Dan Lanning for DeBoer?
Yeah, I would have done that from day one.
Oh.
Matt Rule or DeBoer?
Kalen DeBoer, I'm kidding.
All right, we will continue on with this Reaction Monday. Bill Clark will join us at 1 o'clock.
Kurt
Love to hear from you.
Signetti or DeBoer?
Let me get through the playoff first. Let me see that in a couple weeks.
1-800-239-WJOX. We'll hear from DJ Durkin at 1:30 from the Plains of Auburn. So the Ole Miss Rebels get a win over the weekend. It was ugly against the Florida Gators. You thought for a little while, are we going to have a repeat from the year before? Rebels win 34-24. Lacey was incredible, 224 yards rushing. Just had a great game. Rebels now 10-1, 6-1 in SEC play. Florida drops to 3-7, 2-5 in SEC.
Well, you don't want to get caught in the cold, so schedule your system checkup now from a Train comfort specialist. Train has been recognized for 11 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand and our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jock. So go and visit Train.com to find a comfort specialist near you.
So the other story surrounding what's going on in Oxford, Mississippi is what is going on with Lane Kiffin. We kind of talked about it at the end of last week. I've been told that for the last couple of weeks that there was something on the table for him to sign a contract extension there in Oxford. Been pretty mum on what potentially that is going to be. So CBS Sports' Chris Hummer, John Talty, and Matt Zenitz posted something this morning. Just read this directly from their report about what they're hearing about Lane Kiffin. It says a few weeks ago, those around Oxford were confident Kiffin would return. Creative Artists Agency, CAA, which represents Kiffin, was engaging the Rebels in extension talks. The college football playoff, not beginning until December 19th, seemed to work in the program's favor. The tenor has shifted in recent weeks. There's considerably less confidence now that Kiffin will stay in Oxford, as several sources to CBS Sports who we have talked to believe it is more likely he'll leave. Meanwhile, others in the last 24 hours have expressed optimism he'll stay. Frankly, Kiffin is someone whose mind can change from day to day. That is from Chris Hummer, John Talty, and Matt Zenitz on the future of Lane Kiffin.
Okay. Just wonder, is now the family thing, because Layla, she lives there in Oxford, right?
It's my understanding she's back in the area.
She's back in the area.
His family, his brother, his family all moved to Oxford.
So I'm guessing that those conversations will or have taken place on the potential of him relocating, them going to Gainesville. Just the irony of it all. If they don't allow him to coach in a championship game or in a playoff, which I would fully endorse if he can't answer the question after all that you've given him. If he can't do that, at least have enough respect for that program to do that one way or another. Pound sand.
Okay, so just around the room right now, because I know we've all gone on the record over the past couple of weeks saying we didn't think he was going to go anywhere. As of today, do you think that Lane Kiffin is the head coach at Ole Miss or somewhere else next year? I'm going to change my answer. I think he goes somewhere else.
I'm going to maintain my answer, but I don't feel nearly as good about it as I once did.
Fair.
What is it going to be?
What do you think, he's at Ole Miss or somewhere else next year?
Based on the people I talked to over the weekend, I mean, they still maintain that they believe that there will be an announcement sometime this week that he is staying. But what's the old saying? Don't buy any green bananas.
I do think, yeah. If this was Lane Kiffin, just his personality and what Pat just read in a quote, his mind can change from day to day. That's what makes it really confusing. Because even if his sights were set on Florida, if Kalen DeBoer announced at his press conference today that he was leaving Tuscaloosa, Lane Kiffin could not find a phone fast enough to text Greg Byrne. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we heard all the stories when Nick Saban stepped down, why Lane Kiffin was not a serious candidate for the Alabama job. My question is, if that job ever comes open again, is Greg Byrne the one that's actually doing the hiring?
Yeah.
And is there someone else that would give Lane Kiffin the benefit of the doubt and let him come to Tuscaloosa?
How many options are out there if you're looking to replace a big name with a big name? I guess you never really know until you ask.
But it was just like the Dabo stuff. I mean, there was no, like, Lane Kiffin almost had the Auburn job.
Mm-hmm.
But when Nick Saban retired, like, he could not get on the radar screen at Alabama for a lot of things that people said happened when he was in Tuscaloosa for 3 years. And that they were not going to give him the opportunity. And maybe Nick Saban put the kibosh on that. But
I can see where there would definitely be reluctance from people that matter in Alabama circles. But I can also see where you look at it now, you look across the landscape, why are we not in the college football playoff? If we're playing this out and then going, all right, well, who's out there? All right, Lanning, he's saying no, he's going to stay put. Dabo's not an option. Do you look at Lane Kiffin differently at that point?
do you take Lane Kiffin or Kalen DeBoer?
I would stick with DeBoer.
I stay with DeBoer. But
I
what
love
do we
Lane.
hear?
I
You
don't
never
want Lane
want to
to
be
be
the
my
guy
head
that
coach.
replaces the guy. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy
the
who
next guy.
replaces the guy.
Absolutely.
Unless you're Alabama and you had Bill Curry take over
Well,
Ray Perkins, who took over for Bear.
yeah. Mhm.
That one didn't work out well. It took a while
Yeah.
to finally get to Gene Stallings, who won the national championship. So it was two. It took two after Bear to get a national championship. It might take a few more before after Nick Saban to get another one.
I think that now in college football, that old adage kind of goes away a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to have that many of the guys anymore.
No,
that are
you're right.
that are around long enough at these places where obviously you still got some folks coming in, but I don't think you're going to get the same reaction when Iowa's job comes open after Kirk Ferentz says so long. We'll miss the under.
They actually put some points up this
I know.
weekend.
I know.
Yeah.
Like the uniform scheme. We'll continue with your texts and your phone calls as we continue on a very busy Reaction Monday. 3-man front and jocks.
It is 12:31 here on Jocks. Coming up at 1 o'clock, Coach Bill Clark. He'll be along, give us his thoughts from a very busy weekend of football. We also have a very special tomorrow at Social Taco. We're there each and every Tuesday from 10 until 2 o'clock. But we're also doing something tomorrow and Wednesday, Molly, to help those in need during the Thanksgiving holidays.
Yeah, Wednesday we will be broadcasting live from 10 to 2 on the north side of the building overlooking Birmingham, and we will be collecting items to feed 100 families in need this Thanksgiving. We're partnering with Hot 1077, and Steve Harvey has donated 100 turkeys, and we're looking to complete the meals for these families. We're looking for non-perishable items like cranberry sauce, boxed mashed potatoes, box stuffing, canned vegetables, etc. Food will be given to the families next Monday, and any leftovers will be donated to local food banks in time for the holiday. And the first 20 people to stop by and donate will receive a Chubb Fathers gift card. Drop off, like I said, north side of the building on Wednesday. We're located at 244 Goodwin Crest Drive. Like I said, next Wednesday, or this Wednesday, I'm sorry, from 10 to 2.
Also, tomorrow at Social Taco, Conrad will be out front of the restaurant wearing his pilgrim outfit, right?
Yep.
And he's going to dance. He's going to do some things to entertain the crowd.
He'll be like the sign person on the side of the road for whatever restaurant or place that they want you to come in. I don't know if he can spin a sign, but he will be out there.
If not, he'll just dance. He'll dance for you.
Conrad's a good sport.
So just drive by. You're going to have a box for food, right?
Apparently. This is not what I signed up for, but apparently, yes, I will be doing all of this.
Yep. It's very selfless of you. Very good.
I appreciate y'all letting me know now.
We're continuing to take up donations, but Conrad, you have received $605 in monetary donations with another 100 that Fat Joe is going to bring tomorrow.
Yes, so we have had So I have 605 in my Venmo right now. We have another 100 coming from Fat Joe up there tomorrow. So we're getting closer and closer to the next goal, I guess, on our tier challenge is $1,000, and that will be the gravy victory bath, where you and Pat get to pour an entire jug or whatever of gravy on me like you would a Gatorade bath in a football game.
And this is hot gravy, right?
No.
Nah, probably not hot gravy.
Lukewarm.
I was thinking like tar and feathering type stuff.
No. We do appreciate, though, all those who have contributed, including Nick Posey, who is a great Jocks listener that sent us a very, very nice donation this morning that Conrad received. So we got a lot of people out there just trying to raise awareness, help out some folks that sure could use the help. We could all use the help, right?
So he's going to be set up right there, like at that where you can like temporary parking.
Yes. Yeah.
So like he'll have his box, and then people can literally just pull up there, and they can. What if they just give you money? Will you take that?
Yeah, I'll put it in my pocket. I'm kidding. Yes, I will take it, and we will use it for canned food.
Yeah.
Yes. But yes, you can do cash, check, Venmo, or just bring, the food yourself. Any one of those is more than acceptable.
So he's going to have a box outside of Social Taco. You can't miss Conrad. He'll be dancing around in his pilgrim outfit. And then upstairs, where we are on the Taco Terrace, we'll also have a box. And so we just ask if you come up and enjoy lunch, just bring something and put in the box for us. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah. And no matter if it's one can, if it's two cans,
just
if
anything.
it's $3, whatever you can give to bring some good to folks who could use just a sliver of good right now with whatever they've got going on in their lives.
And then as Molly mentioned, our address is 244 Goodwin Crest Drive. We're located behind the Homewood Police Station.
Yeah, the new Homewood Police Station. It's right up the hill. You can't miss it. You go to the top of the hill, you take a left, we're the first building on the right, and you will see Conrad. Probably.
Connor will be dancing again in his pilgrim outfit.
Maybe a Segway by that point. Give him a Segway to ride.
So what dance is he doing? Is he doing the foxtrot? What's he doing?
He's doing a couple of them. I'm going to make him learn some tango.
Tango, break dancing. What else?
I've been watching Dancing with the Stars to get some inspo.
Very good.
I told him he will be doing the splits.
Oh.
Can he do the splits?
I'm going to make him.
Conrad.
Oh, so I was waiting to see if y'all were going to throw something else at me.
No.
Okay.
No. He's fine.
So he's dancing every 15 minutes, right?
On Wednesday, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he's doing it nonstop tomorrow at Social Taco.
That is not what we agreed upon.
I don't think we're asking him to do that. Well, you are, apparently. I don't know if that should be our expectation, but we definitely need him or someone out there collecting the canned goods if they can't come inside and they just make a quick run to the local store if they go and grab some stuff.
I think him and Don Don should stay out there.
We just need someone there to physically. Yes, I support Don Don being out there with him. Speaking of that, hey, Don Don.
Hey, guys. I'll be happy to get out there and help tomorrow.
That'd be great. We'd appreciate it.
We don't have an extra pilgrim costume for you.
Yeah,
kid.
you just
Do you
wear
have
your
anything that you
normal
could
clothing.
maybe improv and throw together?
I'll just wear my usual Auburn outfit like I always do. That should be good enough and everything. And, Pat, I'm happy as can be about that 6:30 game time. That just gives us more time to put the voodoo juice in everybody. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's going to be quite an atmosphere, say the very least. 6:30 kickoff on ABC.
Well, if you remember a lot of times, Pat, in the 80s and 90s, we played that game at night on ESPN.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember the 1997 game was played at night when Sissom fumbled.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was at that game, and I believe the next year, 98 game when Tuberville got fired, Bill Oliver, and I think we played at Legion Field that Saturday night. Auburn led that game for a little while that year.
They led that game 17-0, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
At halftime.
I remember 1996. That was Stallings' final game. That was a night game. That was on November 24th, 1996, at Legion Field. That was a night game.
Yeah, but no, I'm happy about that, and I got to give everybody credit today. I was expecting a meltdown today, but it's been kind of tame, and actually, I thought that nobody was going to give Auburn a chance today on this show, but I was wrong. Everybody is kind of a little bit scared about the game now.
Well, listen, I think Alabama fans should have been concerned even if they had beaten Oklahoma. I mean, I know some Alabama people would probably said, well, we don't have to go. And I mean, Ty Simpson can take the game off because, we're already going to the SEC championship game or we're doing this or doing that. But that is always a tough game. It doesn't matter, especially when you're playing at Auburn. It's going to be tough.
I was getting ready to say it's tough in Auburn, but it has not been tough in Tuscaloosa in the last 15 years, no, and everything. But when you brought up that 2000 game, Pat, the 9-0 game, I was at that game, and that is the coldest I've ever been at a football game in my life.
It was pretty miserable that day. I remember we did some television hits earlier that day, and we had set up across from Bryant-Denny Stadium, and it was miserable. And then I remember it snowing a little bit during the game, and then it went back to rain, and it was just very cold and miserable.
Yeah, because the night before, and Landon was talking about James Spann earlier, everything, the forecast was like in the mid-40s with no rain and precipitation and everything, and I think it went down to like right about freezing and sleeting in late in the second quarter, and I just couldn't take it anymore. That's the only Alabama-Auburn game in my lifetime where I had to leave at halftime. I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, it was bad. That one and the 1993 SEC championship game, that was the final SEC championship game that was played here in Birmingham. That was is pouring down rain between Florida and Alabama. It was miserable.
You know me, I've been to a lot of games in my lifetime. I was at that game too. But anything I can do tomorrow to help, and if y'all need some help outside on Wednesday and everything, I'm offering to be a volunteer for that too.
Well, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Don. We really appreciate that, and we absolutely will take you up on that absolutely for tomorrow.
Okay, guys. Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow, fellas.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Appreciate it. Very, very nice of him to help. Very much so. We will roll on this Reaction Monday. We'll get back to your phone calls and your text. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. You know, you've heard me talking about it for the last week or two. Abide Roofing, they're doing something incredible during this holiday season. They're giving one deserving homeowner a brand new roof completely free. This isn't a gimmick. It's not a sales pitch. It's their way of saying thank you to the community that's trusted Abide Roofing with their homes. So here's how it works. Fill out the quick form at abideroof.com. Look for a green bar at the top of the homepage. You can nominate yourself or someone who deserves it. Then watch out for the winning announcement coming up next month. Value is up to a 30-square roof or roughly $13,000. Maybe it's someone who's fallen on hard times during this holiday season, or someone that just can't afford repairs to the roof, or a single parent working 2 jobs who is just trying to make ends meet for the family. Maybe it's a veteran, first responder, a teacher who's always giving back to others, or maybe it's that neighbor who volunteers for every local event, a true pillar of the community. Whoever it is, they want to hear your story at Abide Roofing. So at Abide Roofing, they believe everyone deserves a safe, reliable roof over their head, and this is their way of giving back. Don't wait. Entries are now open. Enter through December 12th, 2025. For complete details and a way to enter the free roofing giveaway, go to abideroof.com.
A lot of your texts coming in on the text line, 205-834-9450. Back to Alabama and Oklahoma, Connor Talty and the missed field goal. This one reads, you could have started the field goal with the ball in the holder's hands and Talty still would hit a duck hook. Talty acting like the snap was so bad that it caused the kick to be that ugly is laughable. What about all the other great snaps and he still missed the kick? The guy basically kicked the ball with his ankle. Got to be better than that.
Well, and look, I'm not going to pretend to be a field goal kicking expert, but from what I saw, it looked like a little bit of a high snap. I thought the holder did a good job of getting it down and turning the laces.
He did.
Like it. Again,
it's
like
a kick you should make.
That's kind of my thought as well.
Talty has no poise or sportsmanship. That is not the standard that Saban built at Alabama. Okay, I was just making sure we had our collection of Connor Talty texts.
Yeah.
That I got to all of those in one bunch.
Oh, looks like we have, oh, thank you. We had 2 people just send in donations for the food drive. Thank you.
Awesome. Your Venmo once again?
It is at Conrad, CONRAD Van Order, VANORDER. So big shout out to Brandon and Keller for their contributions.
Robert says, I thought the Alabama-Auburn game would be a 2:30 kickoff based off of recent history. With 3 SEC games on Black Friday, it reduces the options. I guess it wasn't a surprise. Well, the storyline around this game, too. Auburn is going to be naming a new head coach afterwards. Alabama fighting to stay in championship postseason consideration.
I mean, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head of other, I guess Ole Miss maybe has a little, but off the top of my head, this seems to be the one rivalry game where it will essentially decide a playoff spot or not. A lot of the other games, I don't think you have that.
Dylan saying Lane Kiffin can't win big games. Same problem as James Franklin.
Well, at least Lane Kiffin beat Georgia last year. People will point to that one.
Chris saying, yeah, Gene Stallings didn't win a national title, but he did it with Curry's players. Then he got our program put on probation for the first time in the next decade and a half and was mostly awful. Chris from Huntsville.
But he did win you a championship.
Cigar Cowboy texting into the show and telling us that he ran into someone who seemed to be in the know over the weekend, and that, Pat, if Florida offered 13.5, that Ole Miss would try to match that or get very, very close to matching that, but we don't believe that that number is 13.5, right?
It might be a little bit more than 13.5. I think that's the latest I've been hearing from Florida.
Another text, random text. I want to meet Faye.
I think we all want to meet Faye.
We'd all like to meet Faye.
We'd all like to meet Faye. We'd all like to meet Deborah. There's been some listeners we'd be very interested to get to know.
I just love going back to some of these previous texts. So this text that we got from this one listener was take the L and get over it. But the last time that this listener texted, it was September 25th of this year, and it said, I've been with my wife for 8 years, and I've never heard or smelled her fart.
Well, I guess that tells us a little bit of what we were talking
You
about.
pick
that
your
day.
spots. You pick your spots to text, and I like it. Someone asking, does DeBoer have a clothing deal with Walmart or Dollar General? Collins reminds us that the 2014 Iron Bowl, that was in Tuscaloosa, that was 55-44. But that was a night game. Someone asking, anyone going to address Ty Simpson's quote?
Which one in particular?
It's a great question.
I mean, based on what I heard from him after it was very... It's what you heard from Ty all season long, taking accountability for his mistakes.
Ty Simpson calling this season the, quote, screw you tour.
I did not see that.
No.
Well, they handled adversity well the first time. We'll see if they do it well the second time.
John, Talty has cost me $3,000 this year.
Ooh.
I just want to get serious.
I was just glad the under hit on Saturday.
Have you guys been talking about the state trooper at the Texas A&M game? No, we've had other stuff going on, but we saw that. Very interesting.
Yeah, not a great look. And I think the point that I guess I agreed with the most, a lot of people saying it's, all right, so it was right after Nick Harber scored that long touchdown, runs into the tunnel, and everyone's going, why is the officer even walking? Why was that even a situation that presented itself? It shouldn't have ever happened in the first place. But yeah, it wasn't a good look, in my opinion.
I haven't seen it happen. My college football travels the last 4 years of going in and out of stadiums, through tunnels, having access to where those guys have access. Never seen that.
But credit to Texas A&M, whether you think they're right or wrong, they took action very quickly. So
that was a guy that laid the 18.5.
Oh, you could tell that definitely was a guy that was probably a lifelong Texas A&M fan that was just a little frustrated in the moment, which there's no excuse for that, but that's definitely what it came off as to me.
What's your opinion on Ryan Williams laying down after catches? Seems like he's scared to play ball anymore. Landrum, if that caller never smelled his wife's poots in 8 years, they have a dog. Just saying. Thank you. Sent the donation in. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we just got another donation in just now. Thank you very much.
Iron Bowl night game. I love it. RTR. Justin asking, anyone have a Cash App I can donate to? I've got some money on there I had forgotten about, so I might as well donate. Do you have Cash App?
I do not have Cash App. But if we need to see about getting that, we can.
I thought I used to have it.
We can do that.
I don't think I have it anymore.
But at the last check, let me double check, make sure we're right here. We are sitting at $830 pledged for the food drive. So that's big, everybody. Thank you very much.
Yep. And please keep the donations coming in, or the actual non-perishables you can drop by tomorrow at Social Taco or here at the station on Wednesdays. We broadcast both days. Tomorrow at Social Taco in the Terrace, and then Wednesday we're going to be out in the Cumulus Broadcasting parking lot.
And somebody had asked this on the text line, and yes, this is true. If you bring in food, like let's say you want to bring in canned goods as opposed to sending in money, the value, whatever, of the canned goods you bring in, that will go towards the total for the challenge. So if y'all bring in a ton of canned food, it's going to count the same as if you Send a Venmo or get
What's your
cash,
favorite
whatever.
snack food?
What's my favorite snack food?
Do you have a go-to?
Ooh, I really like those the Ritz chips. Big fan of those.
Ritz
like
chips?
the toasted Ritz. Yeah.
Yeah, flavored?
No, we'll just do regular.
You like the regular?
No flavor.
Okay.
Big fan of those.
Oh, we got to keep you happy while you're out there dancing.
No, well, thank you.
Get you plenty of carbs. Good night of sleep tonight.
I'm actually a big fan of Sir Strawman.
Ooh. That's a smell that never leaves you.
There might be some remnants of it out there on the picnic tables for people to see on Wednesday.
This one rolls in. Yes, Alabama loses to Auburn. Do you have any idea what bowl game they would go to? According to Conrad, the IDon'tCare.com Bowl.
Yep, just like last year. I think it was the ReliaQuest Bowl last year. They might play Michigan again at this rate. You never know.
1996 Iron Bowl was a good game. After that game, I'm jogging to get my car, and I ran into Lee Corso. He was taller than I thought he would be, LOL. The coach, Bill Clark, what he saw this past weekend, what he sees next.